the Magic of Joy channel. So, today I want to talk about something different. I do talk a lot about the times we're in and the changes we're going through because perspective is so important if we're going to be able to roll with it all. And I know that's hard to do given all the drama and all the noise and the violence too. So, but today what I want to discuss is something I think will help with all that. And that is joy as a practice, what it does for you, what the experience is like, and how it changes your experience in life. As we like to say at the Magic of Joy, joy is not just a feeling, it's an intelligence, an anchor, a practice, a skill, and a compass. It's a way to make friends with ourselves, each other, and nature. And we believe it is time to make the spirit of friendship that joy creates a living reality in our lives. That kind of thinking goes a long way to helping us with these troubled times we live in. It's important to understand the deep and profound way in which joy can improve our lives so that we can release ourselves from the fear-based ways of the past into something richer and more naturally thriving. That's good for us, each other, and the planet. The planet needs our assistance too. But what is that like on a day-to-day basis? What's actually different? Well, let's look into that today. So when you move into a joy practice, and we are talking about joy as a practice, not just as a feeling, certain things happen. First, it opens up your space. So your space on the inside and also your space out in the world. So the space for you, others, in a changing reality. This space is flexible and open, but it's also grounded. So you show up in the present to make the best of things, which is what an intention of creating joy helps you do. And in the process, you naturally eliminate a lot of the self-defeating extremes that we see a lot of in the world right now. And you look for ways to create actions that contribute to well-being. Joy and well-being are strongly connected. So once you have an anchor of creating joy, you're going to be looking for things that contribute to well-being. And that immediately focuses you and your energy in a specific way that is really, it's a wonderful way to go about your day. The next thing that happens is that you discover you have space for lost aspects of yourself. They start to show up, they start to speak, so they start to have a voice, and they start to feel welcome. You'll feel more supported as a result because more of you is present, and so you will feel stronger automatically. It's been interesting to me because there are important parts of ourselves that have been rejected, including wonder, curiosity, and creativity. They show up to do their part in a joy practice, and when they do, you have a stronger inner balance because more of you is there and showing up. And that protects you and helps you notice and sidestep misguided drama and contemptuous energies because those energies can be perceived as being so different to the energy of joy that you are looking to cultivate around you. And then, because you're not overbalanced in the direction of the energy of bad, that judgment of bad that we all hate, the demonizing energy and the negativity that goes with it. And so you can invite the unknown, new possibilities, and you can also be flexible in working with life rather than fighting it. And that helps you to relax. One wonderful thing about a joy practice, and it takes getting used to, is that there is no war. There's nothing really to fight against and a lot more to work with. So it's a very rich energy, and it cultivates richness around us in a very grounded way. And it's very friendly. So it eliminates a lot of conflict. You'll also discover that the self, yourself, but the self in general, the individual and the community don't have to be enemies or antagonistic to each other. They should be mutually reinforcing and supporting. And they can be when we're open to adapting to change. But right now, our societies are so anti-change that there is an antagonism between the individual and the community. And I don't think that's sustainable, but it is what it is right now. And it's worth our cultivating a different relationship between the individual and community. Another thing is that joy, because it's wise, it has few side effects. And this is something I absolutely love. I like the idea of making choices that leave as little mess to clean up as possible. I don't know about you, but I only have so many hours in the day. Now, this is not about perfectionism. It is simply a natural outcome of a joy practice that creates fewer dramas and fewer defenses, and we need fewer messes. So it's cleaner in the way it approaches life, and daily life and makes choices. And so that leaves fewer messes, and that's a nicer place to live from. A joy practice also invites and has space for possibilities, which actually creates more security. So often, the demand for security, the way it's presented in our cultures, shuts down new ideas and change in the interests of maintaining security. But a joy practice invites and has space for possibilities which might be outside the norm. There's a saying I heard some time ago that you can do whatever you want as long as you don't change anything. And what that means is you can't change the power structure. But other than that, you can do anything you want. I think that is what has become sacred in the world. When we talk about possibilities, we invite those that arise from situations and challenges in the present. So they're directed, which turns the unknown into a resource and an assistant rather than something to fear. Too often, uncertainty is framed as a threat, and it doesn't have to be this way. So a joy practice makes us open to possibilities that might not normally be considered, to find those kinds of solutions that are going to be the most appropriate, the most the right for a particular problem or a particular situation. And so it doesn't really necessarily shut down or eliminate ideas just because they're considered outside the norm, and that's very healthy. Another thing to keep in mind is that the more you move into a joy practice and the actual experience of joy on an ongoing basis, the easier it will be to forgive the mislabeling of that which is good in you and any knee-jerk negativity that has caused you pain. You can release people who use the tactic of making you feel bad to dominate you. Understanding the cultural underpinnings of these attitudes does make that easier, but the more you cultivate joy, the more you want to spend your time trying to change those who are more interested in seeing that which isn't good in you. You'll also find that a joy practice helps you relate to the present, the past, and the future in a naturally healthy way. So you're supporting the ongoing thriving of the world without denying the contributions of the past or the needs of the future. There's no robbing Peter to pay Paul. And that's a very peaceful way of approaching life in the present. You also will not need extreme willpower. And in an overstimulated world, most of us feel like we have to force ourselves all the time to do what we have to do to survive. You don't need that kind of extreme willpower when you're working from joy. Self-care means you're able to be your best, and you just do your part in creating joy in the world with others. That's all you have to do. And that's a lot easier. You'll also find that you can take your life back from all the mistaken ideas about good and bad. So whatever you do to avoid those labels can be things that you let go of if there are any defenses you have, like perfectionism. That's a good one. This joy offers you a kind of simplification by putting your focus in the direction of showing up in a particular way to meet the moment every day in a very constructive way. And the simplification of your intention and your focus helps you to restore ownership of your life to you. So it's not always being pulled out into the dramas and other issues that are going on outside in the general world. It is great that the joy practice helps you own your own life. There's no ladder to climb, there's no one to beat, and so you're free to live in conversation with others. You're learning to live in an ecological way as opposed to a competitive one. And most importantly, you could appreciate yourself, which automatically creates self-respect and self-love. Because you're so connected in a good way to your own actions, it's also much easier to believe in yourself and have a healthy ego. So all of these things are really important. They make life easier on a daily basis. They make your relationships easier. And one of the things that I think is perhaps hidden in all of this challenging times that we live in is that with a joy practice, you actually can reclaim pleasure in your own life. This is a very unpleasant time, and we all deserve as much pleasure as we can have it in your life. And this particular joy practice, what it does is it helps you embrace a very healthy and pleasurable way of living. You're healthy in your relationship with yourself, with others, and to the planet. And so life feels good again. So I hope you can see how a shift to a joy-based way of living and having a joy practice can be very beneficial in lots of ways for you and others. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about how joy can transform your life. And if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and loved ones and anyone else who you think could benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on the transformative power of joy. I'll be back soon to give you more information about how joy as a practice and a compass can transform your life. Stay well and joyful until then. Thanks for listening.